Democrat paid social media operatives.
Mr. Reagan.
If you haven't done so, remember to buy a Donald Trump mugshot shirt or mug from my Teespring store. My little vector design of that particular image, I think, is the most evocative design that exists. Just show everybody that you support Donald Trump and buy one of those suckers. It helps out my channel and it's really cool. All right, so I don't know if you guys are aware of the leftist diaspora on social media, but it's really weird. You have these very hardcore leftists, especially on Twitter, but also on TikTok, on YouTube, pretty much everywhere you would normally find somebody like me. You find these leftist equivalents of myself and of other social media influencers, but they're on the left. And they're really, really crazy. They say the most ridiculous stuff that you can't possibly believe. They're clearly like talking points you would expect to hear from, a paid Democrat operative, maybe like a lawyer for Hillary Clinton or something like that. But they're coming out of the mouths of these social media folks. And they usually cause quite a stir on Twitter and on TikTok and stuff like this because people just can't believe what these lunatics are saying. They think, how can Democrats really believe this? Because usually these social media folks on the left, they say these things with the utmost confidence, but they're obvious lies or they're obviously ridiculous statements. Like they say ridiculous things with the utmost confidence. That tends to be how they operate. AOC has often done this, but I think AOC is just that stupid. I don't think most of these people are that stupid. I think that they are playing a character, so to speak. And one such operative was called Erica Marsh. This, I say, was because she has evaporated into nothing. And that's because Erica Marsh never existed. And this is something that most people suspected for a very long time. And people would debate, is this a conservative creating a sort of like a leftist parody account? Or is this some kind of leftist paid operative that has taken on this persona of Erica Marsh? But it seemed like this was obviously not a real person. They had somehow got a photograph of a pretty girl. They posted it on Twitter and they called themselves Erica Marsh. And then they keep posting all of this absurd leftist stuff that nobody could possibly believe. But again, with the utmost confidence. Well, turns out Erica Marsh was recently exposed as a phony. Twitter actually deleted the Erica Marsh account because they realized this was not a real person. This was just some kind of provocateur posting crazy stuff. And the Erica Marsh that was being presented, the person with that name, it didn't actually exist. And so who was it? Well, CNN did a short video about this. Check it out.
Erica Marsh.
Erica Marsh.
Erica Marsh.
Erica Marsh quickly rose as a viral left-wing voice on social media. Her incendiary tweets, often ultra-liberal and politically charged, drew millions of views and the ire of Republicans. Tweets like, do you agree that drag story hour should be mandated for elementary school students? And why does it seem like most Republicans are pedophiles? The account had nearly 130,000 followers. Marsh's top tweet viewed more than 27 million times. Twitter, which now goes by X, took down the account a few weeks ago. It was a fake, but the photos were not. Now, CNN exclusively shares the real face that's on the notorious account.
Are you Erica Marsh?
No.
But that's your face.
Seems to be.
Why are you talking to us?
I want to tell the world that that's not me. My name is not Erica Marsh. I'm Courtney.
Courtney Ballesteros lives in a rural part of the Tampa Bay area in Florida. She showed CNN her original photos, nearly a decade old. She says they were stolen from her Facebook page.
In my grandmother's front yard.
By whoever or whatever is behind this account named Erica Marsh. The photos on the account are from when Courtney was still a teenager. She's since gotten married and had children.
All right, Courtney, let me have you read Erica Marsh's probably most popular tweet. It got over 27 million views. And then tell me what you think about it.
Today's Supreme Court decision is a direct attack on black people. No black person will be able to succeed in a merit-based system.
And what do you think?
I'm speechless.
Speechless because while this viral fake account shares Courtney's face, they do not share the same politics.
Are you liberal?
No, ma'am. No.
Are you a Republican?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask you which way you voted in the last presidential elections?
Of course I voted for Trump.
So you sense the irony here, right?
Yes.
So yeah, Erica Marsh was really this woman who is a conservative, a Trump supporter. That's the face that people were looking at. And what was funny was I remember looking at that picture the first time and saying, yeah, that looks like a Trump supporter. Like that girl looks like a conservative. Like I don't believe for a second that girl is this leftist that's posting this stuff. In fact, my theory was that it was like some crazy old lady that got a picture of her niece or something like that, like a cute picture of her niece that she thought maybe would get her more traction. And so she posted that, maybe with her niece's permission, maybe without. Well, it turns out, I don't think it was this person's niece. I don't think they were related to them at all. I think somehow they just found this picture on Facebook or whatever and used it as their profile picture. But once I started looking at the Erica Marsh thing, I started finding out some interesting things about these provocative leftists on social media. What I found was that a lot of them, if not most of them, are paid. Now, we will explore this vast puppeteering campaign on leftist social media influencers in one moment. First, of course, I have to sell you something. Do you want to take control of your financial future, but you don't know where to start? Noble Gold Investments understands. Investing in precious metals may sound confusing, but the team at Noble Gold Investments, they make it easy. Let's hear from some actual Noble Gold Investments customers. One customer says, the staff answered all my questions and helped me every step of the way. Another says, no pressure sales tactics, just honest guidance. And finally, securing my future is less stressful thanks to Noble Gold's expertise. So look, don't settle for financial uncertainty. They will suggest options and see if you can diversify into gold and silver. Right now, Noble Gold Investments is offering a free 5-ounce silver America the Beautiful bullion coin for qualified accounts. Don't settle for financial uncertainty. Noble Gold Investments has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews. Why wait? Go to noblegoldinvestments.com right now, noblegoldinvestments.com, the only gold company that I trust. So now you might say, okay, how do you know these people are being paid? Is this not just speculation? This is not just speculation. This is fact.
Is that your job?
I have several businesses, but you know, the Resistance is a really good group of people. It's spread throughout the country, probably throughout the world. I mean, it's just kind of, it's just what I enjoy spending my time doing. And of course we get paid, you know? Of course those higher ups pay us.
So you're paid for this? It's not just like something you do because for your love of country?
Yeah, I mean, people pay us. They want us to help sow the division and to take over Trump's Twitter feed. When he makes a post, they want our tweets to be up there. They don't want other people to, like Trump supporters, to be seen in that.
Now, at one point, Twitter actually banned these guys for being a fake account. Well, I guess, or maybe they had multiple accounts. I can't remember the exact story, but something like they had multiple accounts. A lot of these accounts were banned because it looked like that they were taking various actions that went against Twitter policies to try to boost their numbers artificially on various posts that they would make. So these two guys, the Krasenstein brothers is their name. The Krasenstein brothers, they're some pretty shifty operators, right? They've kind of figured out how to hack social media and to get big numbers. But what's interesting is this guy's admitting he gets paid. He gets paid to post these like leftist provocative ideas. Now, why? Why would somebody pay him if he was already a leftist? If he was already saying lefty things, why would he get paid for it? Well, we're going to look into that in 1 second. First, I want to direct your attention to this guy. This is Brooklyn Dad. His name is something like Majid Padelin or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Mahid Padelin. I don't know. Anyway, he's this guy apparently from Brooklyn. Apparently he's a dad. I don't know. He posts a lot of provocative, incendiary stuff on Twitter, and he's pretty popular. A lot of people like him. He's very like pro-Biden. He hates Donald Trump. He's really vicious. He's a real a-hole. I mean, a lot of times the way that these leftists provoke conservatives and get a lot of attention is they just say, it's not just that they say things that are untrue. It's not just that they say things that are outrageous and absurd. they also try to say things in the way that's the most vicious possible. They're basically like, Donald Trump is scum, but way worse than that, okay? Like that was obviously very, very mild. Now, the crap that they say is incredibly vicious, obviously lies, and they repeat the stuff that like Rachel Maddow says and stuff like that. But they say it with the utmost confidence. Now, what's interesting about Brooklyn Dad is it turned out that this guy has been paid for quite some time by something called the Really American PAC, right? This is a political super PAC, and they paid him, I believe in 1 year, for 1 year's work, they paid him $57,000. Actually, $57,088, which is a little bit weird of a number. But anyway, so they're paying this guy to post on social media. So now let me get into why I think this is happening, because this isn't just a couple of folks. This is, I think, tons of people, right? We'll get into another example here in a second. So here's what I think is happening. I think the DNC needs specific messages to go out in order to convince the public of certain lies, okay? So you're gonna pay this guy who's already leftist $57,000 to post basically the same stuff that he's been posting. So like, why would you do that? Well, okay, so you gotta get everybody in line. You've gotta get everybody preaching the same message. And here's why. If you have something like the Democrat Party, if you have a political philosophy that is similar to what the left has currently, you basically have to lie all the time, right? A man can be a woman just by thinking so. Being morbidly obese is totally healthy, stuff like that. You have to lie all the time. But there are a million lies that anybody can present at any one time as a Democrat, and it would, to some degree, fit into the Democrat message. So how do you get everybody on board with the right lie at the right time? Well, you get them on the payroll, right? So when somebody says, okay, this week we're going to make the lie that Donald Trump incited an insurrection, right? They go in and they go, okay, everybody, you're going to use the word insurrection. Well, we don't know what the word insurrection is. Why don't we use coup d'etat? Why don't we use revolution? Why don't we say something like that? Why don't we say attack? No. The law says incitement of insurrection. That's the law that we need to accuse him of, because if he's found guilty of that law in particular, then he will be ineligible to run for president. So we all have to say the word insurrection. Say it with me, guys. Insurrection, okay? So they get everybody on board this way, right? And so that's what I think they're doing. I think they're paying leftists who are already somewhat prominent in terms of social media. They're finding them, and then they're paying them money, and then they're pushing their social media, right? So they probably have a number of ways to push their social media to make them even more prominent, right? So you get these leftists who they become part of the Democrat machine, and they become prominent because the Democrats want them to be. So they're pushing their accounts, they're building them up, they're getting them millions of views, which to me, that's the most annoying thing, right? As a YouTuber, I don't have any support. I don't have anybody trying to push my account and make my YouTube channel bigger and get people to watch my videos. There's no organization out there doing that for me. I have to do everything myself. Brooklyn Dad does not. The Krasenstein brothers do not. Erica Marsh did not. They didn't have to do this themselves. They had this big machine behind them pushing their numbers up. And so they were able to be successful, not based on their own hard work, not based on their brilliant messaging, not based on their charisma, but rather because the DNC and other Democrat operatives were behind them pushing their numbers to get this messaging out, these lies that the Democrats all want to be on board with. Now, let me just address one more example of this. These guys are called Harry Sisson and Chris Mowry.
So some MAGA trolls have been claiming that I'm a shill paid for by the DNC, and I don't actually believe what I say. If I've learned anything in my time making content on the internet, it's always a losing battle to feed the trolls, so I'm only going to address this once. I have never been paid by the DNC, ever. In fact, any content I've ever been sponsored to post has been labeled as such as required by law. I suppose it's worth mentioning that I've never been paid by Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, or the deep state either. The best part is this grand conspiracy the liberal Illuminati has been hiding from them is literally just a Washington Post article. And if they actually read the article, they would see that no creator was paid anything. If you think that I need to be paid to make content with President Obama, then you've clearly never seen the content I've been posting on this app for years. The fact that these conspiracy theorists think it would take a paid actor bribed by a liberal conspiracy to speak out against gun violence against kids or student loan debt or making sure that everyone has the right to vote just shows you how out of touch they are. I really appreciate the people who've been defending me against these ridiculous threats, and for the conspiracy theorists, I'm sorry, there's no story here.
Chris, liberals are brainwashed. Gen Z is indoctrinated. Let me ask you a question, bro. How many days this week have you watched Fox News? How many days? Be honest with yourself. You can show this to your parents. How many days this week have you turned on Jesse Waters primetime? And I'm not even trying to be a dick. Like, I'm not asking you to switch news networks. I'm asking you to mix it all in. Add CNN for 10 minutes. And don't fucking kid yourself either, because you're like, I pay attention to it all. No, you don't, bro. Like, people wonder, parents wonder right now, they're like, why is there such a disconnect between me and my kids? How did my kid end up like an indoctrinated liberal? And I don't understand any of these issues. It's time to use critical thinking skills, bro. No offense, but your kid is on social media right now watching like climate change stuff, Americans dying, Trump is getting indicted, and you're on Fox watching like some fringe story about LGBTQ people coming for your kids. Like, obviously there's going to be a fucking disconnect there. I'm genuinely trying to help you. Like, just mix it all in, force yourself to watch a bunch of other stuff, and don't fucking kid yourself. I force myself to watch Tucker or fucking Jesse Waters once a week. I hate it, but I do it. It's what's important, man. Like, maybe it's not that we're indoctrinated. Maybe you're in a little bit of a conservative bubble. That's all I'm saying.
These are guys that talk like this, where they reach toward the camera all the time, and they're super aggressive. Nobody really understands why they talk like this, but apparently it's effective because they're very, very successful. They've got tons and tons of views. Now, again, I don't know if that's because it's being pushed by Democrats or if it's just because people, for whatever reason, like it when you talk like this. I should just do all my videos like that. Joe Biden is clearly senile. Wow, okay, suddenly I got 1 million subs. But look, so this guy Sisson and this guy Maury, whatever, this couple of dudes, they have signed with a management company, right? I think it's called Palette Management. Now, this management company has received more than $200,000 from the DNC, according to the article that I read, in the last 8 months. Now, that article might have been old, so the last 8 months up to the point of the writing of that article, whenever that was, they probably received a lot more by then. But anyway, so this management company obviously somehow is cultivating these guys on social media to make them successful. They may even be giving them the scripts, telling them what to say. And this is the problem, right? None of these guys are authentic. They're all fake. All these accounts are essentially fake. And I think probably the same thing is true of Occupy Democrats, of the Lincoln Project, and a million other groups. They're not saying what they truly believe. They're not looking into these things, identifying, the reality or what their perspective actually is, and then expressing it to you. They're just taking their talking points from the people that are paying them. So you get one message unified, spread across all of social media, because you need it all to be the same lie for it to sound convincing. And here's the thing with Brooklyn Dad, he denied being part of this really American pack. Right? He denied being paid by them. He pretended like, no, I'm not associated with these people. Nobody tells me what to say. Lie. So this guy is pretending to be authentic. He's pretending to believe the things that he says. And maybe he does believe them, but he's not coming up with them himself. And that's the problem, right? It's a deception. It's a deception of where the messaging is coming from. This Harry Sisson guy, this Chris Maury guy, they denied also being paid by the DNC. They deny any kind of connection. They deny being paid. Now, what's funny is when I first started my channel, I was accused of being paid by the RNC or being paid by some kind of wealthy Republican operative somewhere who, I was like too good. I just came out of nowhere and suddenly I was like this phenomenon. And everybody's like, oh, this guy's too good. He must be hired by somebody to present their ideas. No. Every idea I present to you guys, it's my own idea. It's what I perceive in the world to be accurate. And I just tell you what I think. And that's it, right? Authentic, genuine, real. But I had friends call me and say, oh, I just got a call from BuzzFeed or something like that. And they're trying to do a report on you. And they wanted me to tell them, everything that I knew about you and stuff like that. And it was really freaking weird. Like I was being investigated for being a fake. And obviously I'm not a fake. Obviously I'm, genuine conservative. I just believe what I believe and I perceive what I perceive and I tell you what I perceive as accurately as I can. But I think the reason why sometimes they suspect that Republicans like me, conservatives like me, are doing this is because this is exactly what they do. Now, this could never happen with Republicans. This could never happen with me or, Dinesh D'Souza and Sebastian Gorka. This could never happen with Ben Shapiro. The DNC, these wealthy Republicans, they're not going to create some kind of network where everybody's getting paid. And that's because the reason you would need to create such a network is, as I said, lies are infinite, but the truth is actually finite, right? If you look at a situation and you're like, okay, how do I twist this to make it seem right for Democrats? I could come up with a million different things. I could come up with an infinite number of lies to try to twist the truth into something that maybe people would find believable. And then they would believe the lie. But if I'm to look at a situation accurately, assess it accurately, and try to present to you my perception of the truth of that situation, there's only going to be a certain small set of parameters with which I'm going to be able to explain this thing. I mean, maybe I take one angle or another, but at the end of the day, the truth is the truth. And if I'm perceiving what's going on accurately, I'm going to come to the same conclusion as somebody else who perceives accurately. So if I'm looking at a situation and Ben Shapiro's looking at a situation and we both look at it accurately and we both process it logically, we're going to come up with the same talking points. I'm going to tell you one thing, he's going to tell you probably something like exactly the same thing. And so we're all on the same page naturally. Now, again, I might be able to do something that he doesn't. He might be able to come up with a little nugget about it that maybe the rest of us don't think of. But at the end of the day, we're all basically saying the same thing. So you don't have to have that. Nobody's going to pay you to get on the same page when you're already on the same page, because logic, because truth, because accurate perception of reality. The Democrats, they don't have those three things. So they will never be on the same page. They have to pay their operatives in order to say the things that they want them to say. They need to get them to all be on the same page, expressing the same lies. Now, why is all of this important? Well, let's get to the most recent lie everybody's saying, right? Joe Biden is being investigated for impeachment. And every single person in the media, in the mainstream media, on social media, every leftist out there, no matter who you are, every politician, every leftist politician, even people in Hollywood, they're all saying exactly the same thing. What are they saying? They're saying there's no evidence for the Biden impeachment. That's the talking point.
Under pressure from the far right, Speaker Kevin McCarthy launched a formal impeachment inquiry based on no evidence.
I have yet to see something that's evidence of a crime.
Not a shred of evidence that President Biden engaged in wrongdoing.
Is there really no evidence of President Joe Biden's corruption? Hardly. Biden's defenders are right that there's no definitive smoking gun, but recent revelations about Hunter Biden's business dealings are absolutely sketchy and should make us squint at his dad. Remember, Joe Biden said he had no involvement in Hunter's business dealings, which include millions of dollars in payments from the Ukrainian energy firm Burisma, from the Chinese, from a Russian billionaire, and other foreign entities. But we know Hunter's real business was leveraging his relationship with dear old dad. Joe Biden allegedly called his son repeatedly during business dinners in which Hunter's associates were present. Joe Biden also attended such dinners twice. It's too soon for impeachment, sure, but still seems well worth investigating, no?
So that's it. Now, is there evidence of corruption? Is there evidence of a crime here? There absolutely is a mountain of evidence. And that's why it's so critical for them to all get on the same page with this particular lie. They all have to be synchronized with the lie, because if you get a couple of people saying one thing and another couple of people saying another thing, and they don't match up exactly, people are going to go, oh, these guys aren't on exactly the same page. What do I believe? And then you risk these people going out and looking up other ideas. And that's dangerous for Democrats. Democrats do not want their voters going out and thinking for themselves. You just got to listen, shut up, listen, don't think, just believe us, right? And I have a friend whose mother is a Democrat, and he often challenges her on why she believes certain things that she believes. And her answer, typically, multiple times he's told me, she says, well, the reporters on the news wouldn't lie to me. They wouldn't lie. That's what she thinks. I mean, we all laugh at that. That's of course ridiculous. But if you think about it, if you've not crossed that bridge and gotten into the headspace of, oh, a reporter could potentially lie to you if they had a particular agenda. If you've not crossed that bridge, you would probably accept what reporters are saying. But if all the reporters are saying different things, well, that might shake your confidence, and you might look for other ideas, other opinions. But if all the reporters are saying exactly the same thing, and all the social media folks are saying all the same thing, and all the politicians that you like are saying the same thing, well, then you don't have a concern that maybe what you're being told is a lie, because everybody's on the same page. It creates the illusion of what goes on with Republicans. As I said, Republicans, we all try to look at everything as accurately as we can and logically deduce what's going on and then express that honestly to the public. That's what every conservative I know in this field, that's what we all do. That to me is moral. That is ethical. That's the right thing to do. That is the search for truth. What Democrats have been able to figure out how to do is create the illusion of that. So they have this sophisticated network where they pay all these people to tell the same lie, which creates that illusion that everybody's looking at it accurately and everybody's just coming independently to their own conclusions. That is why they do not openly report that they're being paid by these organizations, because they don't want you to think that they're not thinking about this independently. They want you to think, oh, no, I just came up with this. It just so happened to be the same thing that Rachel Maddow came up with. It just happened to be the same thing that Nancy Pelosi is saying. It's not because somebody's paying me to say the same thing as Nancy Pelosi. No. I just thought of this myself. No. It's an illusion. It's a magic trick. This is a massive hoax. Every single day, they are creating a massive hoax to lie to gullible Democrats in America. And that's the problem, that so many Americans are so unbelievably gullible. If they would just think for 1 second, maybe this isn't true. If they would just look for new opinions and open their mind to the possibility that maybe reporters do lie to them, then it would change everything in America. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. Listen, go to my Teespring, buy some of my shirts, buy some of my mugs, right? It's great. It supports my channel, and they're so cool. I love these. I'm very proud of this design. I should really design a broader spectrum of things so that people have more choice. But I really like this particular design. If you haven't yet got the Mugshot Heard Around the World shirt from somewhere else, go ahead and buy one of mine, or a mug if you prefer that. Well, look, that's it for me. And listen, I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. So, tell me what you guys think about this. And remember, it's not that our liberal friends are ignorant. It's just they know so much that is not so. Good night.
The goal for all of us should be that one day things will be done neither because of nor in spite of any of the differences between us, ethnic differences or racial differences, whatever they may be, that we will have total equal opportunity for all people.